Welcome everybody tonight. It's your host Wally. Just to let everybody know, if you didn't read in the descriptions and stuff tonight, I got a special cold-blooded conversation, um, some breaking news and everything else that I wanted to share with everybody while it's still fresh. And plus, Mother Nature played havoc on a lot of the motorsports stuff this weekend, and everything else. I will have more after this next weekend coming up, especially on the local scene. If the weather cooperates, I'll have some stories on uh, dirt track racing and everything else. And there's a big no prep race down in Columbus this Saturday. So tune in next Monday right here on the Nonsensical Network for Speedway Stories with me. Yes, welcome everybody to the Nonsensical Network. This is your host Wally. We're live 7 days a week on the network, Monday through Sunday. We have shows every night. Make sure you check out Beauty and the Beard on Facebook and Instagram. Nikki does our nonsensical swag and stuff. And if you guys would like to get some of our swag, hit her up. Plus, also hit her up if you want anything done custom for yourselves or anything else like that. It's Beauty and the Beard on Facebook and Instagram. Alrighty, to get into it with what's fresh going on and everything else in the world for the reason for this cold-blooded conversations show tonight. This past weekend, I seen and heard about at a reptile show. This guy was showing off for kids and parents juggling ball pythons during a show and laughing about it when he dropped them and let them hit the table and everything else. And there was some other stuff that was going on with this ordeal, and I wanted to share it with everybody since I'm a reptile lover and everything else, and that's why I wanted to share what I do tonight about the story and everything else, and it's fresh. But yeah, this guy, and he was come to find out doing some digging, doing some research on the guy. Um, and I got seen the videos and stuff, and I'll share it over on the network and everything else, and let everybody get their opinion, what they think. I know there's people that don't like snakes and stuff, but still, no animal deserves what happened to these guys. Yeah, he was taken out in the video, selling at a reptile show, selling animals, everything else. And he had like four or five sitting out on the table. He grabbed two or three of them, was tossing them up. Some of them he didn't even catch, and they hit the table. Everything else, kind of. This is the stuff I've been talking about on my cold-blooded conversations on Thursday nights. Um, the neglect and why the reptile community gets a black eye. Um, this kind of abuse, besides improper care that people don't pay attention to, yeah, it was crazy, man. And like I said, Blake Awa and Chaco, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I was just dumbstruck by, and these people were laughing, and he was laughing about it like it was no big deal. Like, oh, it's just they'll be okay. They just don't stand balls like they're supposed to. That's what it was. And there were some people that was actually defending this asshole that it was okay to do that. And it's like, dude, it don't matter if it was a ball python, a fucking lizard, or anything else. Even I seen it in the venomous comments and stuff on one of the pages I follow. Guys are like, oh well, they're called ball pythons for a reason. Dude, it doesn't matter. This shit here, this guy did, is what gives us a black eye in our community for the reptile keeping and everything else, that makes it hard, and why the government and everybody else, once again, wants to stick their nose in it and make it where we can't keep our animals. So I wanted to share this with you guys and talk more about it and stuff. Um, it's been brought up on a few of my other channels and everything else, but I wanted to give my personal opinion on it. Um, yeah, I'd actually honestly like to catch the dude, and I'll be honest with you, I'd like to see if I could juggle his head off his fucking shoulders, because nothing deserves that. No animal. So I mean, what's up, Blaze? That does, yeah, does not deserve to be treated that way. Doesn't deserve anything like that. Um, Guy does not need to be in the business, let alone selling ball pythons. I looked up on him. He's in selling boa constrictors and everything, which is a larger constrictor snake that's non-venomous and stuff. But yeah, he's sitting there making a big deal out of this shit and everything else, and they all sit there, and you could hear in the video the kids and the mom laughing, and then you heard some people in the background gasping when he dropped them on the table and everything else, and he picks it up like it was it was like a big joke to him and everything else. I mean, it was really upsetting to see, especially me being, like I said, the keeping ball pythons and everything else. But yeah, he was getting defended. He got defended a few times. He got banned off quite a bit of platforms, and one of the biggest reptile selling sites that I'm also a member of and follow and everything else to buy and sell reptiles on is Morph Market. And that's actually how I ended up originally finding the video, is because it got leaked and sent to the owner of Morph Market, and he ended up sharing the video with everybody else. And it's disheartening to see that shit, just like with the dog fighting and cockfighting with the chickens and everything else. But yeah, this guy was literally laughing his ass off by, oh, they'll be okay, and everything else. Yeah, don't forget to smash that the like button and subscribe and ring the bell, you guys. Thank you all for being in the chat too, by the way, tonight. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is coming from me as a keeper myself. Me personally, like I said earlier, I'd like to find a dude, juggle his head a few times, bounce it off of fucking concrete floor and everything else, and see how he likes it and see how he likes getting laughed at and everything else when he gets dropped on his head a few times and thinks it's a big game. I mean, there's all kinds of dumb shit, but this is the shit that one of the biggest things that get people that target us is carelessness of this, carelessness, mishandling of the venomous reptile side, um, irresponsible husbandry, keeping of animals, and everything else. But when you get videos leaked at a decent show and everything else of somebody being a moron, and it hits all your social media platforms worldwide, what do you think's gonna happen? You're gonna get called out. You're gonna get bashed, and people are gonna be headhunting. And me personally, I'm one of those people. I would love to go headhunting for the guy, just because of like I said, the respect for animals in period in general. Um, but yeah, he like I said, he was making a big ordeal on that and everything else, and thought it was a big game. And he's like, well, and another comment he made too is, guess I can't juggle them very well, and on all this stuff. And then he tried it like two or three more times, I seen in the video, and he dropped him again and picked him up, just started laughing, and you heard the mom and kids in there, and you actually heard one of the kids ask her, "Are they gonna be okay?" And he goes, "Oh, they'll be fine. They're just snakes." This is a guy that actually I found out too has a decent platform for selling animals and stuff, and he turns around and does this. Yeah, what a way to market your business, buddy. I'm gonna just tell you that now. And doing some homework, didn't believe a lot of the rumors about the guy, everything else. Also found out that back in the day, he's a convicted felon for smuggling stuff from out of the country back into the country that he got caught with, too, on top of that. So this guy's really got a shitty track record, and now he's only adding to it. Um, but yeah, we gotta look out for each other in our community and everything else. Like I've been talking, this is the ammunition that we don't need used against us and our in the hobby and everything else. And this is only helping them push it to where we ain't gonna be able to keep nothing. And that's including, like I said before, our dogs, our cats, even fish. I mean, it's just getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous with the carelessness and stuff. So, um, but yeah, that's when I wanted to share the news. Part of the news, the breaking news, the sad part of the news, and everything else on the cold-blooded conversation since it was fresh and everything. Um, thing. And then on the good side, um, hopefully maybe this Saturday. I don't know 100% for sure. I'm wanting to. Gonna try to if I can. Um, there's a local reptile show going on in Marion, Ohio, that I would like to go check out, and found out that there's a good possibility that some of my YouTube followers, people that I follow on YouTube, are gonna be at this show vending or just going around and doing some educational stuff this weekend. And it just depends on my work schedule and if I can make it or not, and everything else. We'll see what happens. But I think it'd be neat to do that and go actually to my first legit live reptile show. And I figured to do, if I get a chance to do some behind the scenes filming of what goes on in a reptile show and stuff, and uh, maybe post it on here and everything else for everybody to see as a pre-recording. We'll see what happens when it gets closer to the weekend and everything else, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I wanted to just share the shitty side of what was going on. Also, what's going on, Michael? But yeah, they it's just sad. But yeah, I hopefully I get to go to my first reptile show this weekend coming up. It's a Saturday Sunday deal. I'm gonna try one way or another to get in there to make it if I can. It just depends on what all's going on. Um, like I said, get some ideas too for some other things around here that add eventually maybe to my future endeavors and my collection I have, and see what's out there and stuff, and be able to bring some more stuff with you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, they that's my plans for the upcoming weekend. If it works out, going to possibly get to go to my first reptile show. We'll see. We'll see what happens and everything else, and go from there. But other than that, I mean, everything's going good. Um, I've got honestly for my on my side of the keeping, I've actually got feeding day coming up for my snakes this week too, as well. You guys give me 1 second. I will be right back. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to go grab a friend of mine. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, buddy. I wish he could be. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one there. Yeah, I wish he could. But yeah, I wanted to actually introduce you to guys. There a while back. I've been going to try to introduce you to some of this. Is one of my ball pythons I have. This is Colossus, and last week on one of the shows I had Saturday nights, I had my bearded dragon with me and stuff. So, but yeah, this is my one of my males. I wanted to bring in and introduce you all to. As you can see, he's an adult, getting some size on him and stuff. He's a couple years. He's about 3 years old. I know he's. I got him from a friend of mine and stuff that they had him in a piss poor community and everything else, the way he was living. So I've been trying to get him beefed up and everything. He's one of my more handleables. This is one of my daughter's favorite snakes to handle and everything else. So, um, but yeah, I mean, can you? I mean, like I said, I know people don't like snakes, everything else, but the guy was juggling. Literally, the snake was in a ball. As you can see, mine doesn't like the ball up very much. He's very active, very curious young man. But yeah, he was having them where they were balled up and everything else, and trying to throw them up in the air and stuff. As you can see, he's just a very curious snake. So it's yeah. What you doing, buddy? But yeah, I wanted to introduce you to at least one of my. He's out in his cage and everything else, and I got him in. He's out exploring. The other ones are in their hides. I'm not going to disturb them, but I wanted to bring him out and introduce him to the network and the fans and everything else on the channel, as you can see. But yeah, this is one of my hobbies I have besides the motorsports hobby and everything else. Um, he's a good I'd say he's a good almost 3 foot, 3.5 foot long. Decent boy. He ain't nothing, no special morph or anything to him. He's just a normal, um, just your basic ball python that you can get out there and everything else. And but yeah, I wanted to share with them, and I'm gonna try to introduce you guys Thursday night too to a couple of my other ones. Yeah, Glick. Yes, we sure do. But yeah, it's this is my other expensive hobby besides, like I said, motorsports and everything else, which I enjoy and all that stuff. So, but yep, this is one of my scaly buddies that I have snake wise out of the four I have right now until I can get more and get myself established. I plan on having more and eventually possibly breeding and having little ones that I can sell and everything else to the people, and hopefully inspire new breeders, the younger generations, and everything else that the interesting uh, that are interested in these animals and learning and loving to care for them. So, but yeah, they like I said, this is my dude Colossus. Most of my animals' names are themed off of my Marvel heroes and stuff that I really enjoy from the X-Men and everything. Um, my big girl that I wanted to bring out, her name's Phoenix, and then I have another female. She's about a year and a half, 2 years old. She's a little bit smaller than him right now, growing up. She's about a year and a half, sorry. And her name's Rogue. And then for you DC fans, my baby that I have that I was gonna bring out. Give me 1 second here. Be right back. This is my dude Joker. This is my clown het for Red Stripe. He's not even really he'll be a year old here soon. I'm trying to get him to grow up and stuff. He's a very but yeah, he's very small right now and everything. I was trying to grow up, get him grown up some more, get some size to him. But as you can see, he has like the sign of the Joker's face on him, and this is I, his name's Joker. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to get him up, but he's a real picky eater. Um, he thinks it's a game and stuff. He's usually a little snappy and everything else with me, but so far so good. He's pretty chill. Really doesn't hurt when he nips you and stuff. It's just like a pinch to me, and um, it'll make you bleed a little bit, but yeah, this is my other little dude. He was out roaming around, so I figured figured I'd get him out and share him with you guys since I shared all that bad news, everything else that we had going on. But yeah, with the good question there, Glick. Actually, with him, I feed him a small mouse. The other ones they get medium rats. They're I get them for their. I have to unthaw them and everything else for them, and kind of make sure they're a little above room temperature for them and everything else, and feed them and everything. But other than that, yeah, like I said, he's a little testy, being a little guy. But yeah, he he's not bad. So he's little. They're defensive, being little guys and everything else. So it happens. Um, but yeah, other than that, that's all we feed him. Oh, he wants to be active today. Normally he's a little asshole. What I do, Michael, on bringing good question. With I bring him up on temperature, um, I normally either have it in Mystic. We don't care about what you think. So, but yeah, I bring them up to temperature either by setting them out and letting them thaw overnight and everything else at room temperature, and I check them with a temp gun. I never ever microwave them or anything else. I'll put them in some warm water, usually to thaw them out too, to bring them up to bring them up to temp, and then I use tongs and everything else to feed the guys and everything, and they're not bad. Like I said, with him though, he has his days when it comes to feeding days. Usually I got it set where they're all fed at the same time. Try to at least, but it doesn't always work out because some of them just doesn't want to eat and everything else on doing that stuff. But yeah, that's how I goodness. But yeah, it's not bad. They can be picky eaters. There for the longest time. Ooh, ouch! He just got me. You guys got to witness it live. The Wally just got nipped by a snake on 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 there. So I'm gonna go put him back real quick, and I'll be right back. Oh man. But yeah, that's what that is and everything else. What's going on, Brian? What's happening, man? Oh, I to get you refreshed up on the show and everything else. I was just talking about our lovely unrepresentation of the asshole that was juggling Paul Pythons over the weekend that everybody's been talking about, and I wanted to give my opinion on it. So, and then I showed some of my couple of my snakes off and everything else. But yeah, that's pretty much all you missed in talking about stuff. Um, but yeah, that's what I like about my hobby and stuff. Is you see, and like I said, you guys got free entertainment, and I got nipped on the side of my thumb. So unfortunately, it didn't leave no marks. He hit me here for a change. I actually didn't get no pin needles where a little bit of blood was showing. Sorry, guys, didn't happen that easy. Yeah, everybody that's in the chat that doesn't know, sky's the limit here. This is actually one of the guys I follow on YouTube and everything else, and Instagram and Facebook. He's an he's a local Ohioan, up in the northern part, up in Toledo. He's one of the ones I'm going to meet up with. Things work out for me and everything Saturday at that reptile show, and like I said, there'll be some videos and stuff and some collaboration done between the Nonsensical Network and Cold Blooded Conversation, and then of course for my own personal self videos for my motorsports and reptile page. But my stuff's here with this, so network comes first and then mine's afterwards. But yeah, we were talking with Brian. I was talking with him, doing a collab with the network and stuff for both of our shows on the reptile side, and doing something together when we come to the show, when we get together at the show and everything. So I'm just doing Saturday, man, due to my work schedule for the weekend. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to get Sunday off, so I'm going up first thing when they open and everything. I'm probably staying until noon Saturday. I have to be back. I have to be at work at 2 o'clock Saturday, so I can't make it an all day deal. But yeah, I'm gonna be there. But Sunday I got to open up and everything else for my work, so I won't be able to make Sunday's show. Um, but I did. This is gonna be another this show coming up. They're not only doing this coming weekend in Marion, um, but they're doing a show the 19th and 20th. It's called Show Me Reptiles in Marion. This is the show that's going on. They're actually doing one my birthday weekend in July, the 19th and 20th. So I've already requested that off for my birthday weekend where I can do both days and be able to hopefully be able to take my kids and stuff, depending on if my youngest has softball or not, and take them to their first reptile show and stuff, and be able to see the different animals and everything else at these shows, and they can too help spread some awareness and some education that they've learned from me and my people that I follow, and like Brian and stuff from Sky's the Limit. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is like I've talked and everything else. We got to quit doing the shit like this guy did in our community. Let alone the piss poor husbandry, everything else. So and everything else that's behind the scenes that gets out. There's more negative shared in our hobby than there is positivity, and I'm going to try my damnedest to continue on with the positive side and the educational side of this, just to bring our fruit. What's up, John? But to bring in the younger generations and everything else, and like I said, spread awareness, spread education, open people's eyes to it, and look past the negative. That there's actually a lot of good people in this reptile community that will help you, that will teach you, and let you appreciate these amazing animals that we get to enjoy. So, but yeah, anybody in the comments have any questions they would like to ask or anything else before I just keep rambling on like I normally do when it comes to this? But yeah, yeah, I'm pretty stoked and everything. Want to get it to where it needs to be. And there's some big plans coming down the road. I'll keep you guys all informed here with the network and everything else that I'm working on behind the scenes and stuff. So, um, yes, you are correct. Yes, and it's a double-edged sword if you share it to correct it, but you share it to brings shines to the appropriate action. You're exactly right. I mean that it is definitely, I agree, a double-edged sword. You try to show the negativity of it, but with all this negativity, how do you know they were males and I didn't see? Well, Michael, to answer your question on that, my good sir, there's an end down towards the about that far from the tip of their tail. There's an area you can either it's where their cloaca is, where they bathroom, everything else. You can probe them, or there's a way you can take and kind of pop them, and it will show their male or female organs. And it does, if you do it right, it will not hurt the snake at all. It won't what they call prolapse, where it'll end up staying out and everything else, and it shows it. With male snakes, they have what they call two hemipenes. Basically, a male snake has two penises, man. I figured you'd get a kick out of this. So yeah, the males have two little things coming out, looks like little penises, that shows they're a male and everything else. And then the female, there's not any sign of those or nothing else. So, uh, he knows that all too well, my friend, all too well. But yeah, that's how you actually check and see if they're male or female. Man, is there's an area down there on by their tail and stuff that you can check out. Yep, just like Brian said, you can either pop the hemipenes or do the probe. Plus, that's right, I forgot. You can also send them out and have them shed test by their when they shed their skin and everything else while they're growing. I forgot about that, Brian. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it about the shed test, bud. I forgot all about it. But yeah, it's yeah, you can send out and they can actually tell you if you have a male or female if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself or aren't able to find somebody that can help you either probe or pop the hemipenes to tell if it's a male or female without paying the to answer your question, Brian, I actually on mine for a hot minute, I actually had a close acquaintance that lived a couple hours away from me when I first got my first one, showed me how to pop them. So now the other three I was able to pop and tell. I really don't like the probing aspect of finding out the sex of my snakes. I think that's more to me would I figure you could hurt them more doing it. But I mean, I see people doing it all the either way all the time. The popping seems to be the easier to find out if they're male or female. Um, but yeah, I prefer the popping method where you do the pin, basically the light pinch and push together, and everything else to pop them. I prefer that method. The probing I can't see. That's be like somebody honestly taking like a broom handle or something and sticking it, trying to stick it up your ass and stuff. I mean either way, it everybody's got their own poison that they do. Basically, the check their things, certain ways to check their stuff and everything else. But yeah, mine. I prefer to pop them. I feel it's easier, and you can take your time more doing with it instead of digging around with a probe, the sexing probe tool that you have, and everything else. So that's what I do with mine. Is I'll do the pop on them. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It like I said, when I first did my very first one on my own, I'll tell you what. To be honest with you, I was kind of half scared just because the way the snake was moving and kind of crawling around my arm. I figured I was hurting, but I wasn't even starting. But once I did it, get it to go, and it was done and over with, and I made sure it went back in and all this stuff, and made sure it was covered back up, no prolapse, and checked it. I checked it a couple hours later. No, the snake was just holding on because they like to hold on and curl around your arm where they feel secure and stuff. But yeah, I've seen everybody. One of my other big channels that I watch her do it a lot. Um, she does it with her hog. I think she used to do it with her hog nose snakes. They do the probing on them. Snake Discovery, Emily and her husband Ed. I love watching those guys. They're very educational. Um, I've learned a lot of stuff from them on the different other types of snakes that I'd like to keep that I'm gonna eventually work into my collection one day here soon. The hognose snakes and stuff. Um, I think they're very beautiful animals. They're kind of neat, and they can be drama queens. These are one of the few snakes that actually they'll play dead, which is kind of cool. In a way, it is just to deter predators and stuff away from them and everything. But majority of the ones in captive bred, it's very rare for them to play the dead. So, but And with the hognose snakes, a lot of people don't also realize is I can actually live my dream of having a technically a venomous snake in a way because they're considered rear fang snakes. They actually have a venom in them that only way they're gonna hurt is that anything affect you. It's like having a bee sting. They really have to bite you and chew onto you to inject you with venom, and usually it's like a you can have a real bad allergic reaction like a bee sting and stuff if you're not careful and everything. So, but for here in Ohio, I mean, without jumping through the hoops right now with everything else on owning venomous, I could get away with my hognose snake, and I can claim that I have a venomous snake, even though it's a cute little like pig-nosed snake and everything else. But I still would have a venomous snake that is legal to keep in Ohio without any issues as of right now. Until people start sticking their nose in our business and trying to pass laws to bite us in the ass and tell us where we can't keep these animals anymore. And yeah, down the road here soon, I plan on having a few hognose snakes and stuff, and possibly breeding some of those too and everything. Um, yes, you are right. I forgot about that. Yes, Kevin McCurley from Nerd Brian brought up a good point on his YouTube channel. If you ever want to look it up and curious, he does do an experiment of actually what the hognose venom does. Which is surprising with that. I'm amazed, honestly, with a strong dose of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Him and Oops. Oop. Oh, no. 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 Yeah. They. But yes, they did a big experiment, everything else on there and everything else, and it messed and stuff on there and everything. And hang on one second here, a minute, guys. But yeah, with those snakes and everything else, that's what they are. I mean, it's very interesting and everything else. So give me 1 minute here. I gotta take care of something. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of technical difficulties and everything. Michael, to answer your question on that and everything else, it just depends on the way the weather actually plays an effect with it and everything else. Hang on one second, folks. I am so sorry about the technical difficulties, but yes, back to you. Um, the time of the year, Michael, is depends on the snakes and everything else. The weather plays a lot of factor into it. With ball pythons and stuff, it is um, the weather, like uh, rainy weather and everything else. Is like it's like a stimulant for them to breed and everything. And a lot of the breeders I follow and stuff, they actually breed year round and everything else. So and but yeah, that's how they do. Is you just put a male and female in the cage together, leave them in there for 24 hours, and take and check on them periodically. And if you see they basically interlock together and everything else, and it. But yeah, that's how for breeding snakes and everything else, lizards and everything. It's just whenever you want to start breeding with them and stuff. There's certain times of the year that they're really bad. Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, they did just do everything that way. It's kind of interesting to see. Right now, like with the weather we're having, is the perfect time to actually, if you're into breeding, is to breed for snakes, is to breed them now, because the barometric pressure and everything else to change and stuff activates their reproducing organs and stuff. So that's how you go about with those. But yeah, they it's kind of neat to see how it's done. I watch a lot of them. There's a lot of videos that shows the breeding patterns out there. There's good information on it. If you're ever curious about looking them up, you can find them. But yeah, that's what they are on there. Exactly, Brian. You're right. It also depends on the animal species. And I'm sorry, Brian. I went to show one of your comments up earlier, man, and I accidentally fat fingered the laptop where your comments were blocked for a minute. It's my fault, and I apologize. I wanted to let you know what happened. Um, but yeah, Brian's right. It also depends on your animal species. But correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, in the comments. The barometric pressure, mostly like the rainy season and stuff's a good time for. I, if I remember, like I was watching and told, is it the rainy season's a good time to start breeding ball pythons for certain areas and stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people breed year round. Okay, that's what I thought. Yep, like I said, this it's nice to have the backups in here. If I'm not 100% sure, I got people. I got my people that I can rely on to jump in and help me. But yeah, but that's how it is, Michael, with them and everything else what they do. Um, and like Brian said, every species different the way it is. So I mean, it's just one of those deals. Um, Also, with a majority of the snakes that you have, like your constrictors, your ball pythons, your boas, um, you can in the females they have follicles which build up inside of them to produce the eggs and stuff. Or for a boa constrictor, they give live birth, which is called litters. So you can do a sonogram like for the humans for females when they're pregnant and stuff. You can actually use an ultrasound machine and check the buildup of them and everything else, and it'll show how many follicles they are and everything else, and if they're ready to breed or not. So, hey, my hero. Thank you, Glick. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, they you can use an ultrasounding machine. I mean, it's really neat to see how they do it and stuff to tell if a female's up. There's a certain size. They we measure our ball pythons in weight by grams, and some people I've seen breed females at 1,800 grams, but a lot of people wait until they're over the 2,000 gram mark where they got big. They're good size, girth, and everything else on them that build up and everything, and that's the breeding age for them. And usually it's like 2 or 3 years old, I believe, for the females for to be able to breed, as long as everything's she's up to size and stuff. Um, I have seen where they've had males within by 2 years on some, a year minimum on some of them, depending on the size of the male too. That if they're ready, they start breeding them about 2 years old with the males with the females and everything else. But yeah, on average, a female is usually about 2 to 3 years. Normally 3 to 4 is when I've seen a lot of them breed with them. So I mean, there's a lot of the information out there and stuff that I'm willing to share, or you can look up if you want to find out more. But yeah, so that's that ordeal, and I do apologize for the technicalities. So there, the last 10 or 15 minutes, I was a dumbass. So oh, yep, there it is. For ball python males, it's a year old over 600 grams, and females, yes, 3 years old. Sorry, when they have to be 1,500 grams or better. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I know I was close, but not 100%. That's why I said don't quote me on everything. Um, but yes, they can get pretty big. I mean, I've seen some pretty big big female ball pythons out there, people breeding stuff. So, um, but yeah, that's on that side of the for answering Michael's questions and everything else. Does anybody else have any questions for me while we're on the show or anything? So that I can try to answer. But yeah, like I said, down the road, here soon, I plan on adding some hognose snakes to my collection. Um, and I can officially claim I have my venomous snakes now, even though it's not my dream venomous snake. My rattlesnakes that I would like to have, at least legally, like I said, I can own a venomous snake that's really not gonna wouldn't really mess you up unless, like I said, you're allergic to bees. Then you will have allergic reaction to them. But over time too, you can uh, build a reaction to them if you let them bite and chew on you too long. You can get a reaction to them and everything else over time. So I recommend not going out getting a hognose snake and sitting there letting it chew on you every other day, and then all of a sudden you get bit and your hand swells up and you have to get an EpiPen or rush to the emergency room because you wanted to be an idiot and let a hognose snake chew on you so you can see what it does to you. That's not what I'm saying, but yes, you can own here in my state of Ohio. What is the most important in doing a podcast, and what do you enjoy the most about doing the podcast? Um, Brian, to be honest with you, my buddy Glick that's in here and everything else, and he'll if he'll comment and stuff. For I think almost 2 years, I talked about doing a podcast, and then this last fall, I said, "Dude, I'm serious." Everything else, and because he has this network platform for me, um, I brought my uniqueness with my reptiles and the motorsports, so we're making it work. My first go back and watch my cold-blooded conversation speedway stories. You can tell I was very nervous to be on the camera because I don't really like talking in front of people unless I really know them, and you could tell my nerves really got the best of me. But now what I really enjoy is being able to talk with you fine folks and everything else, share my passions, what I enjoy doing and everything else when I'm not on camera and stuff. And also spreading education on what I know and help you be able to. Main thing is educate people, bud. That's what I really enjoy doing about the podcasting is spreading positivity in the education part and having a good time doing it. I mean, it's two of my most favorite things besides my wife and kids, man, that I really enjoy. And this gives me my opportunity to share it with the world. And I appreciate my brother Chris Glick, the that him and Blazin and our newest family member Michael. Um, these guys are all behind me 100%, and I've come a long way since my very first show, and I'm really enjoying this, digging this, bringing this stuff to you guys twice a week now instead of trying to do it, cram everything in one show because I was doing both. One Monday I do motorsports and then the following Monday I do reptiles. So they Blaze and Glick came to me and brought it up about we had an opening for Thursdays. Why not split the shows up and do two separate shows? I was like, I'm on board. I like it. That gives an opportunity so it doesn't keep people guessing what Monday night's going to be. If I had fans that tune in just for motorsports one night and it wasn't motorsports, like I said tonight, it was breaking news and Mother Nature played a damper in a lot of my motorsports stuff, so I really didn't have much to share. And then, of course, the bad news in the reptile community. So I figured I'd take this time and share that with everybody and talk about it. So and ended up ending it on a positive note and just spreading some more education out there. And with you in the comments, Brian helped me with some of the proper answers and everything else that I was saying, help back it up 100%. So with that and everything else, I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I'll see you guys all Thursday night for another edition of Cold Blooded Conversations and stuff here. So, oh, um, Brian, to answer your question, really, man, I've thought of the co-host thing. I kind of, I kind of like, I like the solo, and I like trying to bring guests up on the show so I can share what other people that I know, and especially in the community and everything else, have them come on and share their experiences. Um, but yeah, I'll be honest with you, I like the solo flying every now and then. Every now and then I'll catch my boy Blaze if he's not busy or anything else. I'll get him on here and we do some discussions on the show. But yeah, to answer your question, I like doing the solo thing and having guests come on when I can get them on. That's kind of to the positive side of doing two shows. If Monday night wasn't going to work for somebody, now that I got Thursdays, I can throw somebody on if they can do a Thursday night show with me. Have them on there. But yeah, I really enjoy going by myself because it's a confidence booster for myself personally. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out 7 days a week here on the Nonsensical Network. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch 7 days a week. There's a show. Of course, Monday nights I usually kick off our weekend and stuff. So love it, Blaze. Love it, buddy. Mr. Wizard Weedzard meets Sir Lizard. Yes, sir. Um, but yeah, I kick off usually Monday nights on the network with my Speedway Stories, which is my motorsports side of my shows and everything else. I talk everything motorsports. Tuesday nights is Glick's House of Music. Your boy Glick has local talent and everything else. They talk anything music and usually has them on guests on talking about their music career and stuff and why they're into the passion of music. Wednesday nights is our What the Fuck News. It's things in the news that literally make you say what the fuck. It's hosted by our boy Glick. Thursday nights, we're back here with your boy Wally here with Cold Blooded Conversations. As Glick says, we're talking dinosaurs and dragons, man. It's my reptile channel and everything else where I talk all things reptiles. And Friday night is my boy Blaze and my boy Michael, the newest family member of Nonsense on Network. It's their show Nonsense and Chill. The gentlemen watch movie clips and discuss movies on Friday nights. Tune in and check it out. And once a month, at the end of the month, they do movie trivia night, where all is welcome to come in and compete in the movie trivia. And then Saturday, every other Saturday, Glick and his son Cash have Cash's Corner, which is WWE wrestling. We're on our way. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Um, Glick and Cash talk about wrestling and everything else. And if you're a big wrestling fan, tune in on that every other weekend. I usually pop in. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I usually come in and we all three discuss wrestling. And then Saturday night is the granddaddy of them all of this network. It's Nonsensical Nonsense. It's where we have the open door challenge. We open the panel up to anybody that wants to come in and hang out with us crazy asses on the show. Have a good time, bullshit, make fun of each other, do all kinds of stuff. Watch Michael make Glick cry because he beat him in a trivia last month. I mean, just throwing it out there. But yeah, we come in. All we ask you if you come in on camera, show your hand up that you're actually a person. We ask you to keep your genitalias in your pants. We don't want to see that because we've had an incident where that happened. But yeah, come in Saturday nights and have 6 hours. If you want to hang out the whole 6 hours with us, have some fun and just chill, shoot the shit with all of us guys on the network and stuff, and have a good time. That's Saturday nights. Then Sundays we got Unnecessary Roughness. We got Glick, Rick, and our boy Derek, which is a former guest of Glick's House of Music. They talk all sports on Sundays and everything else. You guys tune in, like I said, and tune in on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We're live 7 days a week. Also, don't forget to give our girl Glick's Mrs. Glick, soon to be Mrs. Glick, Nikki, her page, Beauty in the Beard, for any of your swag, nonsensical swag, or even if you want some of your own custom stuff. Hit up Beauty in the Beard on Facebook and Instagram. The woman does amazing work. I've got her doing some shirts for my channel for the Speedway Stories and stuff that she's gonna do. As soon as I get her the money, I will show you guys once I get them. Show off. Glick's a House of Music and the Nonsensical Network stuff. Like I said, she can do damn near just about anything. Cups, stickers, T-shirts. You hit the lady up, run your idea by her. She'll give you a price and everything else, and let you know she can do it. Thank you all again. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties I had a little earlier on the show, about 10 or 15 minutes. That's my fault because I'm a dumbass when it comes to certain things. But love you all. Thank you guys for tuning in and everything else. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football clashes, touchdowns, epic plays. New spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds a tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.